that Zionism is a problem, not because there's an issue with cultural Zionism, not because there's an issue with Jewishness, not because there's an issue with the cultural diaspora, but because this particular version of Zionism, political Zionism, is an ethno-national, settler colonial, apartheid movement that is dependent upon the expulsion and the erasure and the dispossession of Palestinian people. And I ain't scared to say it.
Hold on, time out. Hold on. Okay, let me catch my breath. Okay, man. Time out on the play. Hold on. Straight bars, bro. All right, and when I say Marc Lamont Hill is on God mode, this is not clickbait. Every once and I've never used that phrase before, and I can just imagine, being at a rally of a Martin Luther King speech, or being at a Malcolm X speech, or hearing James Baldwin speak, or being at a Black Panther Party self-defense type of rally. Like, it will be some of those moments to where only the people who were there can testify and be like, this was amazing. You know what I'm saying? And very few people in 2024, has that kind of energy. And, we can say what we want about, Dr. I probably should have put Dr. right there. Marc Lamont Hill, he is amazing at what he does. When you talk about someone being educated, this is that guy. You know what I'm saying? This is someone, not like a Destiny or Sam Harris where, you can listen to him and, kind of eat off that just a little bit. Like, hey, not this right here. Don't really have a taste for that. Just kind of nitpick at the plate. But someone like Marc Lamont Hill, you eating, bro. Everything off that plate, you better eat up, bro. You better get fat and healthy off of what he is spilling. You know what I'm saying? And, hey, don't take my word for it. Let's go ahead, take a listen, and get your forks ready. Get your forks ready.
Lamont Hill is in the house. We are short on time. I'm going to throw you this question as the scholar on the stage. Let me ask you this. Put in context for us, if you can, briefly, what it means to be someone who is active and organized and protesting and resisting on the Black Liberation Front and the Palestinian Liberation Front in American history. Because something I said recently, and I'd love for you to expand on this, is we've seen this before, right? None of this is new. It's students being demonized, the left being demonized, people being told you're anti the country. Like, this is what happened. Martin Luther King was not a popular guy when he was alive.
He was not.
So pick up from there if you can. Give us some context, because you're someone at the heart of all this.
Yeah, no, thank you for that. And by the way, greetings, everybody. My deepest apologies. I was coming from New York and the train broke down. So I just, Amtrak be on that. So, But it's a wonderful question, and it's a wonderful question against the backdrop of the people on this panel, because everybody on this stage has paid a price. Everybody on this stage has taken a risk. Everyone has articulated an ethic of risk and then performed it in a way that mattered. It's easy to talk heavy when nothing is at stake. Mm-hmm. But when something's at stake, then you see what's really what people are about. And there's a long history of Black people standing in solidarity, not just with Palestine, but more fundamentally, Black people standing on the right side of history in an effort to produce justice. Black people have believed in justice. We have invested in justice. We have believed in America's democratic promises, even at the moments where they were the most unattainable, unimaginable, and implausible. We still fought for a world that we would not even see. And there are moments where we did that by trying to imagine elsewhere. Black Palestinian solidarity has been going on for a long time, but there was a moment when you look at Black nationalist movements, to get to the scholarly part of it, think about Marcus Garvey's movement. Think about the UNIA. Think about other moments that said, we need a model of liberation. And at first they looked to the Zionist movement. We gotta be honest about that. We're talking about historical accuracy. They looked in the late 1900s to this burgeoning movement that was happening in Eastern Europe, going to what was then Ottoman Palestine. And they were saying, wait a minute, these are people who are identifying as a single nation. These are people who are looking for justice. These are people who are looking for their own land. They're looking for freedom, justice, and equality. Let me look there. But Black folk don't take us long to figure stuff out. Mm-hmm. Stuff start looking funny in the light.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying? We stepped out the club, the lights was on. We was like, wait a minute. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. I've been on the train for a while. I'm a little silly right now. So, and over time, what we began to recognize is that the liberation movement, which we recognize, the desire to be free from violence, the desire to be free from a state or a community or a world that hates you. Who has been more despised than African people? Right? We saw that and we recognized, but we also understood that having liberated yourself from oppression does not give you a license to then oppress others. Right? And you can see that now. Look at how South Africa responds to Israel versus how Germany responds to Israel.
Hey, bars.
We both have deep wounds. We both don't have the moral high ground. And when I say we, you talk about the United States too, ain't none of us got the moral high ground. But the question is, at this moment, what do we do? And so over time, black freedom fighters began to recognize that while the struggle for liberation is righteous, you can't jump out of a burning building and land on the back of somebody else. So what do you then do? And so you began to see by the 50s, you began to see a turn for a couple of reasons. One, because of black Muslims. The black Muslim community has never been given the full credit or had the full debt paid. One, for creating, for opening up Islam in America, but also for creating a different vision of what the international community could look like. It wasn't about black Palestinian solidarity, it was about internationalism. It was about a recognition that our liberation is bound up in the liberation of others around the globe, but not just as, hear me, don't just clap, hear me. This is not just about some leftist cliche. It's about understanding that the networks and the institutions of power are connected. Capitalism is connected. White supremacy is connected. We can't dismantle these systems because those systems don't have passports or how we is or driver's licenses. They don't stop at the border. They go international. That's why we got to do that work and understand internationalism. So now we get to the 50s. I'm going to take this. I only got one answer, so I'm going to land this plane. We get to the 50s and some interesting stuff happens. One, Malcolm X. But we can't acknowledge Malcolm without acknowledging the nation. Because Malcolm, the movies want you to think Malcolm, bad Muslim, went to Mecca, saw white people, became good Muslim, right? Whole Disney movie. Malcolm was there in 59 before he was there in 64. He saw Gaza, he saw Jerusalem, he understood that. And he understood what it meant to say we are not just part of we're not minorities. When he said the original man is the Asiatic black man, to make it the owner of the cream of the planet Earth, the father of civilization, the God of the universe. Woo! Supreme wisdom, lesson 1, let's go. You understood that was an internationalist vision. So by the time you get to September, of 1964 in the Egyptian Gazette, when he's writing on Zionist logic, he's acknowledging that Zionism, before 67, he's acknowledging that Zionism is a problem, not because there's an issue with cultural Zionism, not because there's an issue with Jewishness, not because there's an issue with the cultural diaspora, but because this particular version of Zionism, political Zionism, is an ethno-national, settler colonial, apartheid movement that is dependent upon the expulsion and the erasure and the dispossession of Palestinian people. And I ain't scared to say it.
Hold on, time out. Hold on. Okay, let me catch my breath, okay? Man. Time out on the play. Hold on. Straight bars, bro. 6 minutes in and I didn't want to interrupt, man, because he was just going and I was eating, okay? Let me catch my breath. Let him continue. All right, here we go.
And the erasure and the dispossession of Palestinian people. And I ain't scared to say it.
Man.
So the last thing, as I move to my conclusion, she just started talking about black churches, you know what I'm saying? You get to 67. Now things really, really change if you look at it from a political analysis perspective, because now you have the 1967 war. Now, there's not even an illusion. It's very clear that this is a neo-colonial movement. It's indisputable at this point, because now Golan is taken, now Sinai is taken, now Gaza is taken, now East Jerusalem is taken. So by the time you get to the summer of 67, you got black internationalists all the way back to Bandung. Go back and read Malcolm's message to the grassroots or listen to it. But I'll take you back to 67 again. SNCC is now standing up. They wrote a newsletter about what had just happened in the 6-Day War, written, by the way, they say Snick was written by Ethel Minor. We got to always write black women back into history as they get written out. It was Ethel Minor who wrote that newsletter. And so now you got a generation of children of Malcolm, the cultural nationalists, the Panthers, who were like, wait a minute, this thing is different. And what they try to do every Martin Luther King Day, as we move to the benediction, is they try to tell you King was a Zionist. King wasn't no Zionist. What King said is that he believed that Israel had a right to exist, but not the right to exist as an ethno-nationalist apartheid state. He was simply talking about respecting the territorial integrity after the 6-Day War as vis-a-vis UN Resolution 242 and 338. He was making a purely juridical or legal argument. That's all he was doing. But by the end, what did King say? He said, I'm not going back to the Holy Land. I don't want my name signed to that thing. He said, I think that Israel has grown arrogant and unyielding. He said they took Jerusalem and I'm not sure they'll ever get it back. That was in 68. It is now 2024 and they still have not given back East Jerusalem. So when we look at this moment with these people in this room, we are not alone. And when we walked through Ferguson, and then we walked to Jerusalem, and we walked to Jericho, and we walked to Gaza, when we walk from these places from Ferguson to Palestine, we are standing on the shoulders of generations of liberators and freedom fighters who dreamt more ambitious and audacious freedom dreams than we could have ever imagined. And so at this juncture in history, we no longer need to be afraid. There are too many of us to be afraid. We no longer need to lie. We ain't got to tell people that the president's working night and day to get a ceasefire, but we gonna still keep sending money and weapons and giving UN Security Council protection. Stop it. Tell the truth.
Man.
Stand up for freedom. Stand on business like Dr. King or somebody said. And then do the work of liberation. Because until Palestine is free, until Sudan is free, until Congo is free, until Haiti is free, then not one single one of us in this room is free. Free Palestine from the river to the motherfucking sea.
Oh my God. Oh man. Hey. I don't know what song I'm singing, but I'm singing a song. Hey, man, that is bars at its best. I almost teared up there, man. Just that energy and just that boldness to stand up for what is right, despite what people are gonna say, do to you, how they're gonna smear your name in the public. Because we know the Republican Party has the ability to do that, but Marc Lamont Hill is standing on business. And that's the type of leadership that we need. He's not even a Democrat, bro. He's not even a Democrat. That's the beauty of this thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't need a party to move forward. But if we can take as many as allies as we can, we gonna do it. You feel me? Like, that right there is beautiful. Like, I can't follow up on that. You know what I'm saying? You top that type of, that message is flawless. And I hope that message would go down to 20, 30, 40 years from now. People will look on YouTube, Malcolm X speeches, James Baldwin speeches, Malcolm X speeches. And then I hope they look for Marc Lamont Hill speech talking about the Palestinian people and how that links to black solidarity, to black freedom, and all that links together. This is not a battle that's new, that I'm now new to. My ancestors have been fighting this fight way before me. And I just hope that people in the future, my kids, and your kids will continue that fight. Because that's what we do. As black folks, that's what we do best. You know what I'm saying? We don't quit and we continue to fight. And as we're fighting, we'll uplift and protect others that can't. That's black people's superpower right there. Look it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a great Marvel movie right there. If you need one, Marvel, hey, there you go. But once again, if you guys agree or disagree, if you disagree, man, you crazy. You crazy now. Let me know in the comments down below, or hit that Discord link so we can have that one-on-one talk. And like always, let's have that conversation.